Welcome to another episode of Karl and the Kayak. I'm going to start today's episode with a little Phil Collins. We had some difficulties today. My speaker broke. We lost my pump for the kayak. But we're here. We're ready. Ready to do another episode after this plane flies over us. Once again, these planes are just killing the vibe here. You guys can hear that, but it's Easy Lover by Phil Collins. All he does is make hits. Okay, so now you can hear me. We're going to get right off with the questions. Actually, before I start, I want to congratulate my booyah, Sarah Shelton's brother, for finishing his first year of his PhD at Virginia Tech. The guy's awesome at life. Congrats. I can never get a PhD. He's got to be real smart.
Mark's wicked smart.
Yeah, he's wicked smart. But he needs to come back, up here to chill with us, First question today is from my good friend Jeff Woodall. He says, what are my 5 top pickup lines? I was thinking about that, and I don't really have any because it's not that I don't need pickup lines, it's that I'm just myself. I'm very upfront, brutally honest right away. I don't need pickup lines. You either like me or you don't. If you don't like me, then get out. I don't need pickup lines. Would I rather be lost at sea or lost in space? This is another question from Jeff Woodall. Definitely space. I'm scared to death of sharks. Always have been since a kid. And I'd rather be lost in space, even though, there's probably some weird space sharks or whatever. But I'd still rather be lost in space. One of our best writers, Mike Dyer, asked the next question. If I had to give up one thing for a year, would I give up the Celtics or drinking? That's a very tough question. I love both, but I would have to say drinking. Besides my family and friends, the Celtics are the most important thing in my life. So definitely give up drinking for a year. There's another plane. Speaking of, Sam Summerhill, so good. Okay, the next question is another one from Mike Dyer. He says, would I rather get Al Jefferson or Josh Smith? As you know, the Celtics are looking to pick up some pieces this offseason. Definitely Al Jefferson. Josh Smith, I just don't like his attitude. I don't like his inconsistency. He's not a winner. You put Al Jefferson on the Celtics, I think we have something there. I hated leaving him, giving him up for Garnett, but I would love it to see him back in the green. So definitely Al Jefferson. My friend Jenna from UMass, Jenna Edgehill, she says, would I date Molly McGrath if I had to stop watching Law and Order SVU? These questions are so tough this week. I was thinking about this question all day. Law and Order SVU is my favorite show of all time. My number one dream girl is Mariska Hargitay. I would have to say I would not date Molly McGrath. I know this is groundbreaking news, but I could not give up watching Law and Order SVU and seeing Olivia, a.k.a. Mariska Hargitay, every week. Just couldn't do it. Great question. Our very own writer, TB, who does the What the Hell Happened To series, says, who is better, Glenn Davis or Brandon Bass? That's a tough one. They're both kind of the same player, inconsistent, but came up huge at times. I would have to say Big Baby for what he did in the 2010 playoffs. He was huge for us, so I would have to say Glenn Davis there. As mentioned before, Mark Sheldon. He has a great question about LeBron here. He says, me and 300 other Cavs fans are distracted by LeBron possibly coming back to the Cavs. Would Boston try to pick up LeBron in a couple of years when he's free? Dan Sapphire shaking his head. What do you think, Dan?
You know, it's hard to tell, but I probably wouldn't take him. As good as he is, you just don't want the circus that surrounds him. I mean, it's always a media show, and you know, quite frankly, even though he tries to deflect attention sometimes, it's always on him. You know, rather have it be about the team than one.
Are you? Have you shown the audience your shades yet?
I have not.
Why don't you do that right now?
They're Celtic green, if you can see them.
The next question is from one of my good friends, Chris Milano, who lives right near the garden. For those of you who don't know, I got some weird Cher song on right now. I gotta change that. Ooh, Fleetwood Mac, Little Lies. Saw them in concert. Chris Milano asks, would I rather never be able to listen to music again, or be able to listen to music, to any song I want, but the vocalist was a heavy metal singer who screams into the microphone? I hate heavy metal. I hate people that scream. I like chill music. You can just relax on the river. I like the Eagles, Bob Seger, Phil Collins. Why do you scream? What are you so angry about? It's like white middle class things. Shut up. The answer to that, I'd rather never listen to music. Screw it. I hate heavy metal. I guess there's more planes this time of day. We're doing this at like 8 o'clock on a Friday night, by the way.
Yeah, this is a Twilight episode, so maybe there are more planes. Who knows?
Yeah. The short answer to that is I would have to give up music. That's how much I hate whining white boys, screaming white boys. Mike Walsh, one of our writers, asked a question that I'm actually going to post to the audience for next week. Who are the top 5 females I'd like to see Molly McGrath be replaced with? First of all, you can't replace Molly McGrath. She's one of a kind. She's my dream girl, besides Mariska from Law and Order SVU. I don't know how you replace her, but I don't know who's in the running. And who's out there? Audience, why don't you let me know in your comments this week? My friend Raj that I play ball with every week. Will the nice weather allow the audience to take a glimpse of me shirtless on the kayak?
No.
Dan says no.
Don't want to be repulsed, but I love him.
I would have to agree with Dan. Nobody wants to see that. I haven't got my tan yet. And by tan, I mean sunburn.
This is about building an audience, not losing it.
Exactly. Matt McKay, or another writer, says, how many 9-year-olds could you take on in one time before they overpowered me? I've applied to a couple of jobs as a recruiter for retirement homes, so this is very applicable. They're wily old veterans, probably only like 2 or 3, and I wouldn't try to I don't know what I'd do. Like, you're not going to beat up an old guy, so I would say 2 or 3. Got a couple more here. Fleetwood Mac is so good. These planes, we can't come here at sunset anymore. Alright, Mike Saber, one of the heads of Celtics life, along with JR, says, this is applicable to Dan the cameraman right now. Who would win in a battle of wits? Captain Kirk, the old school Captain Kirk, the new Captain Kirk, or Dan Sapphire? I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, to be honest, but Dan Sapphire. But let me pose that question to our own Dan Sapphire. Who do you think would win?
Captain Kirk, the new one, would probably kick my ass. Although I think I got William Shatner down. I mean, I could beat him silly.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so we hear from Dan, the new Captain Kirk it is. The last question is from Jacob, another writer from Celtics Life. He asked if Scal had accepted your one-on-one challenge. If anyone hasn't seen it, YouTube Scallenge video, I forget what it's called, but I did a Scallenge video with my Larry Bird apron. It's pretty funny. They showed only my missed shots, which is kind of whack, but whatever. I'll Stand By You. It's a great song. What would my strategy be to take down the White Mamba? I wouldn't have a strategy. There's no way I could beat him. his wingspan, the fact that he's Scal and would know all my moves. Gingers have a connection. We know each other already. Like I feel like we're already good friends, and he already knows my game. I have like 2 moves: the step back and the floater. Both would not work against him. So basically, probably just chuck up the ball as soon as I got it every time, and hope he doesn't try. So that's going to do it for this episode. As always, I want to thank Dan Sapphire for taking the time out to film this episode. Oh, we got one more question.
Yes.
You got to ask about.
This comes from one of the audience members who happens to be my friend, who is a wonderful Celtics fan. Her name is Patricia, and she wants to know if it was a championship. Met her at Wilson Tavern, best place on earth. If it was a championship clinching game, would you rather be sitting sideline watching the C's try to win it, or would you like to have the opportunity at the same time to meet the members of the 1992 Dream Team?
You can tell by my pause that I don't know. It's such a tough question. Larry Bird, besides my father, is my idol. Well, Harrison Ford too. Those 3. I'd have to say Game 7 the Celtics. The team is more important than one player. As much as I love Larry, I would have to say Game 7 of the championship series to root on the Celtics. And that is the hardest question I've had to ask, or I've had to answer, probably ever. So Patricia, I admire you for that question, and thank you.
Let me give you one more that's a little easier for you, probably.
Okay.
If Brian Scalabrine and Paul Pierce both asked you to dinner at the same time in separate places, but you could only go to one, who would you choose?
Brian Scalabrine. I love Paul Pierce, but again, ginger connection.
Maybe they're on the airplane. Who the hell knows? Flying in for dinner.
For all you gingers out there, you know what I'm talking about. You can't replace it. We are the minority in the world, and if you have the opportunity to meet with a ginger that plays in the NBA, you have to do it. With the personality of Scal, it's a no-brainer. I'm sorry, Paul Pierce. Hope you're back next year. Scalabrine. That's it for tonight. Here I go, back on my merry way. If I can get out of this mud pile, which I probably can't. Dan, I'll get you back, all right?